All right, all you devils out there, how's it going? Here we are, Wednesday the 23rd, right just about noon for me here in Austin. So I thought we'd take a peek at a couple of things, crypto, kind of interesting here. So, this will be, of course, we'll put this out for YouTubers, to all our subs later today. And in that spirit, let me just, I may not be the greatest promoter, but every now and then, if we've got something going on, I do want to mention it here. So we have our own Black Friday deal going on. As we do this every year, and this is, I think this is typically, this is the biggest discounts that we offer. So, just quickly review here, 25% off of a monthly, right? So if you're just doing a 1 month, 30 off the 3 month, and 35 off the 6 month. Now note here, you've got to use these discount codes when you click subscribe, and then you get the choice. It'll be very obvious to you in the checkout process, but this has to be all caps, Black Friday 30, Black Friday 35. Just so you know, this will also be in our Twitter feed, so if you wanted to refer back to that or in this video, I don't think I can put direct links to it, but there'll be a link over to our website underneath the video. It's pretty easy to remember, TradeDevils.com. Okay, so here I've got up here. This is total market cap. Now, members, we took a peek at this the other day, and of course, it's going to be very, very similar to Bitcoin. And this is a contender, right? So there's a number of different ways we can count this. If indeed we're coming into some sort of a pivot low here to get out of here, well, just process of elimination, trying to think through what we could have here. Well, this transitioning here from rather going 1, 2, 3 because of doesn't look like we could finish down here. For us to be approaching a low here in this range, to this being total market cap, if we're going to come down to, what would that be? About 560 billion. Well, the thought being this, we could have a contender here for 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we'd have to get there via 3, 3, 5. So this would have to be a 3 here. You can get it. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A, B, C. So it's very playable. But then the thought being we'd come down here for a 5. There's such a good looking impulse, at least at this point in time here. Now, of course, it's hard not to spot that, right? So as we're tagging this, now we've had a few peaks lower. It does look like, well, at least this point, we'll go look at Bitcoin. It looks like there's a path here, right? Which, there's no certainty here, but it looks like there's a path here for this to come out and play potentially, right? Maybe the 50 we ping at, and then we can get a pop off of that. Way too soon to talk about trend change, but right now, at least we've got some areas down here where we could see the market gravitating to, and then potentially an area that would make sense technically for a base to be built, and perhaps we can start working back towards challenging some of these highs, right? There's a lot of hopium in the air, but maybe it's that time of year. Okay, so with that said, let's see, I covered the Black Friday. Let's go these one at a time. So this is the dollar, which of course has been very problematic for crypto, certainly for Bitcoin. Now it does look here as though we've got a good impulse underway here. So working backwards from and I'm on an I'm on a 4 hour. So we've looked at this a couple of different ways. So if we go out to the weekly, well, you sure would hope that that's a pivot high, right? And we've talked about this a couple of times. Is this the disqualifier to the 4, right? With the A overlapping, it's a judgment call. As I said, I think a couple of weeks ago, my first mentor, who really part of what he taught me was fibs over Elliott. He's allowing for this, right? So, and he's a very skilled Elliottian, but this being the A, and because the rest of the count looks so good. A, B, C, then up here. Now it looks like we could be starting. We come down on the, let's go back. Let's go to that 4. It's a little tricky in here. What do you do with this? This is a bit tricky, right? It looks like you got to work this as a completed ABC into a W. You've got 5 here. This is a little wonky into a clear double top. So A, B, C. You got to do this 1, 2, 3. Oh shit! You can probably do it a couple of different ways. 3, 4, 5. So you've got to work a flat here, clear 3 here, and that looks like, right, it looks like we've got an impulse that's going in. So seeking that 5th. Now we can't say for sure that it's done, right? It could be done here, and we're in some sort of a. This would be a little shallow for the B. maybe some sort of a diag to get into an A, B, C. But right now it kind of looks like maybe this has got more to go, and the 3's here. The swing structure would play a little bit better here. You can see the perfect channeling we'd have here for this to be a contender for the A, and thus so the swing structure gets a little wacky here, where the X relative to this, and if this is going to go A, B, C, yeah, I suppose there's other ways we could count it. I suppose you could go A, B, and working on the C, but we'd rather, if you're a Bitcoin bull, you'd rather see this start, well, in many respects, see this start to roll over towards a lower price down here. So if we're back relabeling here, it'll be a function of what do we complete here, and then what starts off of that. Do we get correction or not? So this remains to be seen. I don't think there's anything to do here just yet. We've got to see here, do we take out this low or not? Let's see, Bitcoin dominance. This is the trickier one. So a lot of the, what do I call it? Well, let's just call it across the crypto space. The battle cry now is Bitcoin, not crypto, right? I'm sure you're hearing the same thing, right? They're not the same thing, right? So Bitcoin being a digital asset that's decentralized, it's just a computer network. Every other cryptocurrency, right, centralized. So founder, they distribute the coins, right? So thereby, right? So that just, if that's going to be the battle cry for the next year, maybe two, right? As all of crypto, with the exception of Bitcoin, works out what it actually is going to be and how it's going to be regulated. If indeed that it's Bitcoin, not crypto, you would think Bitcoin dominance would be in a basing process. Well, this is not the best looking. Well, from an Elliott perspective, right? I mean, certainly we can work a 5 into an A, into an expanded B. Boy, it's hard to get this to finish, right? We can't be done here because we've had a new low. So you might be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4 seems to suggest lower prices. So this would be one to watch if we start to rally out here. Now, of course, you can certainly see this as potentially an accumulation zone. Maybe the little pump down here is a spring, right? So we add a little Wyckoff into it. A, B, C. Doesn't quite work, right? So you're just looking for some sort of something to get us out of here. So one, maybe could we hold here and get a higher low into a higher high? Well, we're going to need to. That's going to need to go full impulse. So potentially, this is accumulation. Potentially, I sure would want to see it go. Well, let's a couple of simple things. How about to the other side of the 200? How about to the other side of the 50? Right, that's just a 50 envelope. Can't quite get through that. Maybe could you 1, 2? It's not a great looking one, but definitely I would have this I'd be in regular viewing, right? A watch list of some sort. I'd be keeping an eye on this as to if indeed we're coming down lower. This would be extreme. If we come down in here, boy, that's going to be potentially a significant opportunity. It remains to be seen, right? To me, I see opportunity. Someone else might see, oh my God, crisis, complete disaster. So it remains to be seen how we go there. But now, in the midst of all of this, though, I think we're still dealing with fallout, and probably will be for some time. I don't think it's going to go away that fast. Well, every now and then, something will pop up, and we could look at this. Let's go to Litecoin first, because this is kind of interesting. So here's a daily on Litecoin. Now, what is Litecoin doing? Popping like this, right? If it's Bitcoin, not crypto, right? Is Litecoin being a fork of Bitcoin? I don't know why we're popping here, but that's interesting. So this is kind of a tricky count. Now I do have something here you've not seen before. This is just an ADX moving average, which is useful for trend or no trend. I think I've just got a 21 on there. What is it? ADX VMA. Yeah, I've got a 21 period on there. So this is something you're going to start seeing more and more as we broaden out into some other asset classes. As we talked about, members know we did some polling here to look at that. This is something you're going to see more and more because it's very useful for the kind of trading we'll be doing. So, okay, well, now having said all that, I'm going to take it off here just so we can get into this count a little bit. Litecoin's kind of interesting, right? So so here's the COVID low. If it's 1, 2, and yet again, as with Bitcoin, if the thought is if this is a 1 and we've gone into a deep 2, can we get out? Could we be done down here? Well, it's an interesting thought. So if it's A, B, C, or let's try and keep it simple. Well, this it potentially could have been a 3, but right now it looks like 1, 2 of all. So all of this. So if we were to label it here, this would have to be 1. But candidate for a 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's all got. Well, we'll go minuet here and put it in white. That's maybe a little bigger. Let's go to sub. And what have we not used here? Let's go to blue. Okay, so we've got blue. Now, could this be? Well, it looked like it was going to roll over until all of a sudden we've got this little pop here. Now, that doesn't mean we're not rolling over here because you can certainly see a potential path here that this could have been, 1, 2, 3 thought, right? Still could be, right? We're going to go down that way. But there's a count here that plays that we can get an ABC into a W here, ABC into an X, A. You probably do it a couple of different ways. There's a 3 in there. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a candidate here for this to be finished. Interesting if Litecoin was going to lead us out of here. Now, how do we deal with this? Well, you're kind of stuck. There's only so many ways to work with that. Okay, maybe we can work a diag in just as we did with Bitcoin. Here's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, candidate for a 1, maybe. Well, now you got to go A, B. We got a waterfall here, so you've got to accommodate that for. So and we get a new low. So it's got to be A, B, C. Oh, I don't think it's golden. Shit, let's take it out of log here. We don't need log scale at this range. Right now, it's interesting. Bang, 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 bang. It's all wick. Right now. We are seeing that more and more. Wick gets through if there's no close below. Well, obviously they stayed with it. It would seem, based on that. Oh, it looks like you got another one here, right? As they are prone to repeating. Right. So here's the first one where it's literally in the pocket. Boom, boom. Right. Get that. Looks like that's getting third target. Is it? Yep. There's third target. So you've got a candidate here for a 1, 2. Well, could that be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? There's more to go. Pretty impressive little rip, percentage base. Pretty impressive. So 1, 2, maybe. Oh, we're still on a daily. 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, let's try and label it, right? So if this is the 1, candidate 2, maybe. Well, that's going to have to be the 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 4, 5 looks like would be pretty reasonable. Let's put that here. We'll go to green. Right, so 1, 2. Well, this is 1. Shit, what are we doing there? Oosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. So let's get that labeled. So we'd have to do this, some version of that. 3, 4 going in for the 5. Let's come down. Let's go over to white. Okay, so 1, 2. Well, let's pick off that 1. Make sure that holds. We got 2 1s here to deal with. Let's keep those in our mind's eye. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, just out of curiosity, you kind of want to see, what are the odds that that's done? Well, how does it look? Right? 200% the length of that first 1. Well, here's the high probability. Wick gets through. So we've got a good candidate here for a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like reasonable. Jesus, Litecoin going to take us out of here? Wouldn't that be amazing? 1, 2, 1, 2. Looks like no reason to think otherwise, at least at this moment in time. Well, of course, the alternate is if this is a Y. And let's acknowledge this is very, very much a real possibility. Oh, let's see. If this is a Y, this could be an A, B, C of an X. Right, and then the 2 is yet to come. But that said, if we pull back to where we're coming from, this is a pretty deep retrace off of this impulse right? On the assumption that we're going to stay with the idea that this is a completed impulse here, and we've gone W to the 50. Pretty good looking X. Right now, we're through, to and through down here. We're in platinum. Oh, platinum. Here we are. So down to we're in the pocket between 786 and 887. Pretty deep retracement here. And that's in log scale, right? Out of log. It's really ugly. W, X, Y, X, right? See, it doesn't, you would think, oh, if this is the X, if this were to be A, B, C into the X, then we're going to do A, B, C. Well, that would be some pretty serious damage to Litecoin. I don't know that we need to think that yet. Now, it's early to be saying, oh, the low is in and Litecoin's off to challenge that at the very least this high. One other thought here, just to try and least always, how much confluence can I find down here? Yes, I'm curious, right? You got to keep looking. What else, right? So if we go, let's go, where are my doubles? There we go. Come back this way. Okay, I'm not pinging anything right to the tick. I got one other here we could check, and that is, what's the length? If this is going to hold as an A and this is my B. There it is, right? So it's just a process of, what the hell? Hey, my computer's ringing, hey? Some sort of spam call coming out of my other machine. So do you see it, right? So the length of the A projected from the B. So just that's the very common process. Okay, where is it, right? There are no random pivots. So where is it? Well, look, we get a perfect tag here of the 618, and then we come down, we get the 100. Interesting. All right, so this, boom, get the 100. So it's that hunt. Okay, so do I have enough here, right? That I've got well, here's what I can say. I've got a technical pivot. All right, that's what I can say. So, oh, I'd probably use all of that. Let's get that low. For potential demand zone, let's get that all covered in here. I would use all of that down. Get you right on the pivot. Bring it back. Okay. Do we have close below? We do not, right? So this is a valid demand zone. All right. So here's the last down before we had break of structure that led to all of that. So coming into this supply zone down here, okay, that bounce starts to make a little more sense. Now we just looked at let's go back to our, we just looked at the technical relationship here. So now, I get a perfect A to B equals C to D at a demand zone where with an Elliott pattern here that, okay, right, it's gorgeous, no, but I got a 5 followed by a 3, okay, followed by some effort here. At least I've got the makings of a potential low, because what's the first thing I get? I get a higher low. Now I got a higher high. All right, well, so to make this real, boy, I sure would like to get an impulse out of here. So first, can we break this perfect 4-point channel? Can we get out of the other side of that? Okay, well, what's the first thing we got to clear, right? We got to clear we got a couple of algos to clear, right? We got to clear this one. Let's get you right on there. Got to clear it, right? That will be the resistance. Now look how that plays, right? And with that right there. Right, that's just market structure. That doesn't mean that it can't get through here, right? But we can understand how it might struggle there. And then if you get through that one, right, next one you got to get through is that one, right? So you're gonna have the same situation up here. Get through that, now we're talking, right? Now we got a candidate here for this to be going 3, 4, 5, or you could see it. This would make perfect sense, right? We'd get up here and get that 5 of that 3. We're gonna go 3, 4. Get over here. 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 to get out of here. 1, 2. All right. So what are we trying to put together? Can we? All right. It's a big lift. Can we break? Boy, that's some hopium right there. Can we get something like that to dig out of there? Don't forget, once you break this one, you got to break that one. Right? Once you break this one, now it's free to fly, right? Well, there'll be others to break, but now you're looking a whole lot better, right? So this then it would be 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Now that game on, but that's a whole lot of hopium, a whole lot of hopeful thinking that we could get out of this mess that FTX put us in. as I reminded members and everyone else, right? Everything that's happened with FTX has exactly zero to do with crypto or the technology or blockchain. This is all just greed, inexperience, immaturity, narcissism, call it what you will, right? It had nothing to do with the underlying technology, which is why it's so frustrating, right? But so for long-term believers in crypto, let's keep some perspective on what exactly happened. Okay, so let me, how am I doing? 20 minutes. Okay, so let me, here I'm rambling. So we've covered Black Friday. I've covered total to Bitcoin. We looked at total, looked at market Bitcoin dominance. This one I put a big question mark on. Well, you certainly would like to see it get on the other side of the 200. But let me finish up here with just some astonishingly good work from one of my members. He's probably on his way to being a sensei. He's so very skilled. He's he's a purple belt with us, level 2 with EWI, working on level 3. He's the only reason he's not a higher belt with us. He's just in that process of cataloging 50 profitable trades. PK Acevenda, really, it's great to see because I've watched his development. He's worked so damn hard to develop his skill set. So he gave this to me, and I have to credit him because it's just such beautiful work. So if you brought this up, so this is a 1 hour in Bitcoin, and you looked at all of this, and boy, what a damn near just a great challenge this would be for one of the upper belts. I'm going to see you count that. Now, there's a temptation, right? And you often see me doing this, right? Well, okay, I can see I got an impulse coming off of that low. So, okay, well, does it matter, right? Does it matter, right? Really? Do I have some sort of a 3 here? I got this. I got something here. Maybe, is that a 5? Well, you probably work that, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not much of a finish. Looks like you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it looks like an A, B, C actually plays better. But so what do you do with this mess? Well, here's what, let's see, how would you do it? I suppose the new, you're going to get there the same way. So the new student might do something like this and go, okay, well, there's your 3, right? So we're going to go A, B, C into a B, and perhaps we're going to get something started here. But to try and really nail down every swing of this, you're going to have to go down to a smaller time zone. So I'm going to take you down to a 15, right? So we can get a better look here. Like, hey, Bitcoin, thought you were dead again. Look at that pretty impulse right out of the chute. Oh, the 1's a little skinny, but still, where I think we can all agree that's pretty good looking impulse. So what are you going to do with this? Right? Can you? Right? So I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to give you PK's answer, and I'm going to concur. It's such beautiful work. Can you do it? Right? So a good challenge yourself. Take yourself down to Coinbase or whatever. Take yourself down to a 15 minutes. See if you can get that. Right, members, let's see if you can. Oh, PK may have already posted it. So he just shared it with me before I started here. So I wanted to use that. See if you can get a clean count on that. I think that would be a great shit. That's purple or brown belt challenge. That's a real challenge. So having said that, now let me show you what he sent me, because this is just beautiful work. Okay, so this takes some skill. Okay, so we've got the. Well, first let's pull back out and see what we're trying to do here. Okay, well, I've got this. Well, maybe not enough. Right, so we had thought here. Now I don't have this all labeled here because I'm just focusing on this. Now we had thought perhaps, okay, this was a 1. Okay, maybe some sort of a 2, and we had right now. There's FTX. All right, so you had the makings of, okay, right? So we'll look down here how similar that looks after this mess. Well, now we don't have that option. I think even this is a bit of a stretch. Let's go to a 4 hour. Is it just too ridiculous to be thinking this? Right? See, now we've gone so far here. Yeah, I think it is, right? So one thought was, could this be an A, and we're going to have a deep B, and then we're going to go into a C here. So if I go out to something higher time frame, you could see, okay, maybe is that just insanity? Is that just a ridiculous hopium hit? Well, there's a couple of ways to how that might play here. And now that would be a very deep B, but you can see the thinking. If it kind of takes us back to an earlier count. If this is a WXY, we would need an X here before we go down for another ABC. So you'd be trying to do this. I picked the wrong one. Excuse me. In the context of a WXYXZ. Could this be the makings of an X here? Okay, we're pretty deep on the B, right? It looked better earlier, but I think this is the thinking. Could we have that? Well, we're not. I don't think we're too far gone here to where we disqualify. Well, we might be. Let's just check it if we've disqualified here. So I'm just going to go back to here, right? So we're not too far. All right, we're only at we're a little bit past the 1272, the length of what. Let's get it right on there. If this were so, you'd be trying to get it this way, right? So this would have to be some sort of an A, B, C of a B before we're going to go way up here. And is that a hopium hit? Well, what's the alternate? The problem with this whole thing now for a bull, or I should say it that way, for a bull is okay. What is there any way we could finish down here? How the hell are we going to finish down here? Well, I mean, I say that as an Elliottician with your Elliott hat on. How the hell are we going to finish that? I mean, just broad strokes. Okay, sure does look like a 3, right? So then you'd be thinking, oh, WXY maybe? X, that doesn't work. WX, right? Could this be the X? Well, could you do it? Probably. You could probably do it this way. A, B, C, X, A, B, C. You could probably tuck yourself into that. All right, so now I say that. Is that going to be our count? No. You're really pushing the. I mean, look at this. I think that's too much hopium. You look at the size of the first WXY, and then we're going to go into this is going to be A, B, C to get an A. I suppose it could. I suppose you could do it. If this was an A, expand the B, and we're going to go way up here for the X. I suppose you could do it. But then what we're talking about is for the next A, B, C to keep some swing structure. Whoa. All right. Let's pull that out to a daily and say, okay, does that even seem like, could it? Well, yeah, it could, right? I mean, it's still within the realm of possibility if we're going to do this. Oh, come here. All right, that's where you'd be looking for that X between the 50 and the golden zone. A, B, boy, that's going to take a big, look, you got to get 1, 2, 3, multiple. You got to clear the algo here. You got so much resistance to clear there. That's I wouldn't rule it out. But then if that's an X, you're going to need an ABC to come down here, and now you're, in the 5-6K range, right? So here, if you just with the algo target, it's 7. Like, could that be what we're looking at? Well, put it in log scale. Okay, starts to look maybe a little more possible. We're going to come, something like that. But this is, boy, that's going to require some. That would shock me, but God, it'd be good to be shocked right now in crypto. Right, all the shocking is happening on the wrong side. Okay, so let's go back to where am I here? Let's go back to our 15-minute and just take a look at how beautifully this is broken down. Okay, so barring some sort of projection as to okay, could we be going that high? Well, if we were, this would have to be a 1, not the C. Right. Right now, the proposal is it would be a C, but if this is going to be an X and we're going to get a 618 retracement, as we were just looking at, this would have to be a 1. There's going to be a much bigger. That C is going to need to be much higher. But look at this beautiful work that he sent over to me. So this is. Let me just here. We'll wrap up with this. All right. If you study, rarely is there a circumstance where you can't get. That's the brilliance of Elliott Wave. Right? It's just astonishing. With enough diligent work, rarely can you not get a count that will work. So if we're looking here from this last pivot, now here's the FTX debacle. So I get a clear 5 coming down. Boy, does this get tricky in here. Oh, I got the 15. Let's get this off of here. This is just such good work here, right? So any Elliottian can aspire to this kind of craft. So I've got an A coming up here. Now I've got to go look at this. What's the best way to do this? Okay, well here, I'll just kind of use the cursor. So I've got to go A, and then I've got to go A, B, C into a W to go X, and then get a triangle into the Y. So it's A, B, C to give me a W down here. Clear impulse finishes. Here, so what you see in here as you start to look, you'll see the triangles. So it's A, B, right? We can go W, X, and we can triangle into a Y, which would give us a B. So we can go A. You could almost think of it as a 3. So W, X, Y into the B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me a C. So I've got the A. The B doesn't come in until all the way down here. So it's a long way to get there, which is why this is such good countcraft. So, oh God, how are we going to, so we've got to go W, X, Y, right? So there's the 3. Now you'll recall when we first looked at this, when I was just fucking around with it over here, saying, okay, what are we doing with that? And you can look at that and say, okay, well, W, X, Y, right? And we can get into it. But then to do that work, right, so you have all that much more conviction to maybe take a trade here or to be leaning into that impulse, well, that requires a whole lot more skill and a lot more Elliott craft to work it out. First question is, can you do it? Well, then I suppose the first question is, do you need to do it? Depends on, how seriously you take your technical analysis skills, right? Some people will tell you, oh, fuck that, right? I got a moving average, I got a MACD, I got a couple of demand zones. Who needs to do all that? Why put all that work into it, right? Well, that's a direct challenge to how seriously do you take your trading, right? Are you in here to take it seriously, or are you just fucking around? Right? And if you want to be serious, about developing this skill set, well, here we're giving you a discount way to do it. PK, who's in the EWI training, he'd be the first to tell you that our belt system is more challenging, right? I did that deliberately, right? It's harder than the EWI. Well, I haven't seen the third one yet, but I'm telling you, it's very challenging. Plus, you got to document it because you got to prove 50 trades in both purple and brown. So anyway, my point being, this is the kind of skill level you can get to with some discipline, right? And he was not that good when he arrived. I mean, he was already on his way, but this is just great countcraft. So well done, PK. Beautifully done, all valid, perfectly done. And then what's the whole beauty of this? What do we end up with, right? In the middle of all the crazy, little holiday cheer, maybe. So you look at the whole thing and you say, okay, is this just some sort of big accumulation? It sure is Wyckofian, right? It sure looks like it. Is that a spring? It's not much of one, but I'm sure the Wyckoff people are wetting themselves over that. Oh my God, look at this perfect spring. Now we'll see, right? Oh, shit, what would we call it? Right? Would we use this? This is the river. We'll see how high this goes. We get a river up here. So 1, 2, right? Could we be starting that process? Looks like maybe 1. Boy, wouldn't that be just perfect, right? So we got a demand zone there for the possible 2. Oh, lovely, right? Can we come down here? Do we have a start on it? Well, I wouldn't be buying it just yet, but right here, I'm interested, right? Maybe we can get, now that's trading, not necessarily positioning long-term, right? So I wouldn't just plow in here, oh, what a great opportunity, and not put a stop on it. I'd use trading capital, maybe a touch of leverage there. Maybe a bit of leverage, nothing crazy. But if this gives me a good 3 down into this structure here, edge of value could be 50. Maybe you ladder in a little at 50, a little at golden zone, stop underneath that demand zone. Look how this nicely sets up here. And I'm on a 15-minute, right? So you can trade this without taking undue amount of risk. Oh, you got a nice little stop out point down here. Let me probably use a 707. Oh, what do I want? I think that has it. Nope, pardon me. Let's go platinum. All right, so we have all of this. So I've got golden zone, 707, 764, 786. So a nice little pocket in here, all right down here for some potential support. Right, 1, can I come down here and get in that pocket? Well, I'd tee it up. I'd do it both. I'd take a fraction of it here. So I'd split the fills if I can get, if it's offered, right? If I can, I mean, get that. There's like a POC and I got a demand zone here. If I can get it, I might buy it a little bit there. I'd put the stop underneath. What are we going for here? We're going for 3. Now, do I have this going yet? Well, it's not quite to where I would want to buy it just yet, because right now, of all times, let's be picky about it. Looks like maybe an A, and I'm working on an A, B, C into a B. I want that to come down here. I want to be able to buy it down here at support. I don't want to chase anything, and I'd like to see that come a little bit lower, right? Just to increase the probability. Given the backdrop and the craziness of this week, what, can I get that down a little bit lower? I don't even much shit. I'm on a 15-minute. That doesn't look great so far. It doesn't look like I got enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, A, B, done. It's not good enough for me to take that right now. I'd be a little bit more picky about it myself. That's just me. Looks like you might have an A. Looks like you might have an A going in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you might have an A, B, C. I'm looking for that B. I want this to come down a little bit lower. Remember, I'm on a 15-minute. So this can be very squirrely. But it does give us insight into this nice-looking impulse here. That we'll look at the beautiful finish. Nice-looking one wave out of nowhere, right? Why, if crypto's dead and FTX is going to kill us, how is it I'm pumping an impulse here? Yeah. How many times has crypto, or I should say Bitcoin, been declared dead? I would be inclined to agree. Bitcoin, not crypto. They're two different animals, right? So let's recognize that. Okay, guys, that's all I got today. So for members, YouTubers, we did some polling of the members here. You're going to see some new content from us. We looked at both doing, adding some. I don't like the name because it implies something. They've gotten better than this. But we're looking at some crypto bots to trade. My thought being that the biggest risk across crypto is stagnation, not we're just going to free fall to zero, but that we're going to stagnate. So that lends itself to potentially some different approaches to how you might leverage the existing capital you have in your account, whether you're underwater or not. And then you're going to see a lot more on option trading. So that was the overwhelming winner of places to go next in our educational content. So you can look forward to that. And that's going to be featured much, much more heavily, particularly going into the new year. Probably do some new course content, but you'll start seeing it more and more often in these videos. And I think we'll start to accelerate, so it won't be just a Bitcoin Friday video. We'll start to see more and more here. So YouTubers, look forward to that. There'll be, I think, a whole new section within the Discord for option-specific information, because we had a lot of people interested but not really familiar with how to trade them. So we will keep it pretty straightforward. Okay, with that, I'll wish you guys a happy holiday. Depending on what happens here is when that will come back on Friday. I'm inclined to, if we get a decent setup here. Okay, guys, have a good holiday, and we'll talk to you on the next time.